So before you apply for a UK expat mortgage or as a foreign national recently arrived in the UK, you want to make sure that your deposit is solid. Now, what do we mean by that? Well, here are 3 things to check first. Here's tip number 1, to confirm how much deposit you need. Expats typically need to budget 20 to 25%. However, there's some lenders now at 10%. Skilled workers recently arrived in the UK typically want to budget for 10% deposit, although there are 1 or 2 lenders that will consider as little as 5%. Tip 2 is to check the viability of the deposit with your broker. What does that mean? Well, make sure that your deposit comes from an approved source with the bank. For example, savings, family gift, or releasing equity from another property isn't really a problem. But if you're borrowing off a credit card or an unsecured loan, lenders typically don't want to see that. And tip number 3 is prepare to document your deposit very well, especially if your deposit's coming from a family gift or from overseas. Having a paper trail can avoid complications and delays. Take, for example, Craig, a UK expat in Greece. Now, his deposit was from an inheritance of a relative who had passed away in France. A document trail had to be formulated and approved translations obtained and notarized to validate the deposit. But as a specialist broker, we can help with all of this process. Months later, he got his new buy-to-let property keys. Do you want to check your deposit plans? Feel free to reach out to us on the socials, grab a quick quote in the notes section below, or book your free discovery call. And remember, big moves start with small steps. I'm here when you're ready.